All right, this is something new. I need y'all to turn the notification button on. For those who don't know, what that does is as soon as I drop a video, y'all know I drop at least 4 or 5 a day. As soon as I drop a video, this will update you and notify you immediately. Again, you become part of that notification gang that everybody has. Ferros, I need you because we need to start making these videos moments. So please turn the notification button on. You'll get my content first. All right, Mr. TALIAFERRO TV, how's everybody doing out there? I just watched an interview, and I'm going to be honest with you. A lot of Gates fans fuck with me. A lot of Kevin Gates fans love my platform because early on, I posted a lot of Kevin Gates performances. I covered 3 or 4 shows Kevin Gates had. So I got a lot of Kevin Gates following. But I want y'all to listen to me. If y'all fans of Kevin Gates, and I want y'all to hear my words. I just watched an interview Kevin Gates did with Real 92.3 in LA, and they do a good job out there. Salute the bootleg Kev. I just watched a disturbing Kevin Gates interview. And the reason why I deem it disturbing is because anyone that has any type of, not only can you sustain yourself in the corporate America, but if you ever been around real things and real dudes, and you can read people like I feel like I can. I'm really good at reading people. Kevin Gates ain't in a good space, bro. I'm just keeping it 100 with y'all. I don't have no reason to lie. I'm reading this guy. And, you know, part of the Kevin Gates ordeal was the eating booty. You know, that was how he really, really knocked down the door with a lot of the hip-hop community, was the eating booty interviews. And then his relationship with his beautiful wife Drika and his Instagram persona. But I'm gonna be honest with you, a lot of people back then were like, yo, this dude is a character. He's putting on for show. People say the vernacular that he uses is sometimes obsessive in interviews, and sometimes he puts words together that are pointless to put in an array, right? I don't think that. I never called Kevin Gates a character. I've been around Gates one time in my life. Though I covered 3 or 4 of his concerts, I've been face to face with him one time. He looked me in my eye as I was talking to him and walked off in my face. Kevin Gates is a tough guy to interview. Kevin Gates is a tough guy to talk to you to if he don't fuck with you, and he got real street ties. I'm just being 100% honest with you. That's as far as I'll take that, right? And he knows it. He knows he got street ties. Kevin Gates just did this interview with Real 92.3 LA, and he disrespected them on every aspect. So the interview will be present in the comment section of my video, right? So if you want to check that interview out, this will be the first comment. I'll give you a direct link to the Kevin Gates first interview since coming home from incarceration. And I want to be direct with you. I think we all have been around somebody or been that person. I've never done a long stint inside of a jail cell. I always like to set off that disclaimer out of respect to the people who have done long stints inside the system, right? But I've been around people who did long stints inside the system, family, friend or two, right? Mostly family though. If you've been around somebody like that, you know you got to take your process with them slowly. Some people come out, they be in great spaces because they're no longer in. A lot of times people ain't in great spaces from some of the stuff they done seen and been through over the last however much time they had to do behind bars. Kevin Gates was not mentally ready to do an interview. The interview was terrible. His answers to questions were terrible. And I'm gonna be honest with you, the interviewers asked good questions. His answers were absolutely disrespectful. Now here's my thing. It's one thing to allow somebody their time to cope with their journey out after being released from prison especially. But when you walk into my space and agree to do something, and at some point Kevin Gates had to agree to do this interview, right? Because he was inside their studio. At some point, Kevin Gates has to hold some type of culpability and accountability for agreeing, right? If you did not think doing an interview was good for you, you shouldn't have agreed to do it. Now, I don't know the backgrounds of how this interview took place, but at the end of the day, Kevin Gates knew that Real 92.3 was about to film them cameras and go on that microphone and do an interview. And if he was in that space, he should have said, nah, I can't do this. Kevin Gates in the interview brought up that he's fresh home from prison and he's not in a great space to be doing press right now. He said, I'm fresh home. He flat foot told him his mind is only on his new project that's on the way, Luca Brasi 3. He said he's focusing on completing that. And then later in the interview, he contradicted himself by saying that Luca Brasi 3 is already finished. You can take that with a grain of salt. I don't know where the hell what that means, right? One minute you say you only focus on the project. Then the next minute you say the project is done. You know, Kevin Gates said, no disrespect to the interviewers. He said, look, I'm really not trying to be short with y'all, but I'm not really prepared to do this. I'm just transitioning home from prison, right? He was like, you know, pretty much, he asked in the middle of the interview, he asked the producer, how long we got to do this? I feel like y'all interrogating me. Now, I watched every question in that interview that was asked. I've been in a plethora of interviews. I didn't, and watched thousands more. It didn't look like an interrogation process to me. I thought they were asking fair questions. Now, I don't know what happened behind the scenes, off camera, whatever his relationship is with those guys. When I watched that interview, I thought they were asking fair questions. Gates said he felt like he was being interrogated. And then the freaking DJ, what's his name, DJ Head? I don't even know him like that, but he touches Kevin Gates, like just a little tap, right? And I want you guys to watch this interview and come back to my video and tell me what y'all thought about it. Kevin Gates says, do not touch me again. Hey, yo, I'm teasing the hell out of this interview. This is hilarious shit. This is one of the most iconic Kevin Gates moments on camera I've seen today. And a lot of people out there, I promise you a lot of people are going to be like, he's doing this for attention. Because if you really felt this way, why do an interview? Now, I've watched Gates a few times on IG Live. That's pretty much all we've gotten from him. This is his first, like I said, this is his first interview since coming home from prison. He, initially was locked up for kicking a chick at a show. Then after that, when he was close to getting out, they found an old gun charge from him in Illinois that he ended up serving a little more additional time. He's currently on house arrest. I think technically he's on house arrest, but they're kind of loosening the leash a little bit to say from him in his house arrest. He's moved to California. Right, he clarified that up in the interview. He did say that, at least, that he's officially in his crib in California now, right? So, again, if I'm a Gates fan out there, I'm not really happy about this because he mentally did not look like he was in a great space. Like, that's just the mental part of it. Now, this might make for great music. Let's make that clear. Gates has not been in great spaces before and made phenomenal records. So it might make for great music fans out there, but I'm talking about on a personal level. Like, fuck that music shit. Fuck all that fame shit. Like, your physical well-being matters, right? You got to tell my dude who about to have to do a tour soon, all that. I ain't really look at Gates and feel the most confident in his mental, because Gates has been around. Like, he's been reaching out to a lot of artists. He's been a studio NBA YoungBoy. He's been around a lot of artists recently, and they all love where Gates is at with it. So he's showing love to rappers, but to go up there and give that station, Real 92.3, that interview, it's kind of bad and disrespectful to their brand and them supporting you and your music. That's how artists get ostracized from the industry. Go ask Trey the Truth. Go ask K Michelle where they can and can't do interviews at because of some of their previous behavior. And with Kevin Gates, I do think that's very bad to have him in that space where he was not comfortable doing that interview. For all parties involved, we don't know what could have happened. And also, I will add this little side note. I've did interviews with people. You know, I'm pulling up the clubs doing interviews when I was in college. I have done interviews with people, and they don't want to do the interview with me, right? They give me a trash ass interview because sometimes shit, we at the club, right? Niggas is drunk. A lot of time, like, niggas been tipsy, drinking, high, whatever. Like, I've gotten bad interviews just because people don't know who I am at times, especially back in the day when I was before, like, we started doing news stories day to day. They give me a bad interview, then turn around and go up to the Breakfast Club and give them a phenomenal interview. One of the best of all time, right? It's happened to me, but usually that's me coming to them, not Kevin Gates going to the radio station. He went to the radio station, right? And to me, you control that narrative. And if you knew you was in that bad of a headspace, which Kevin Gates said he was not, he's transitioning home and he hadn't had time to complete that yet. I don't understand why do the interview. Y'all talk to me. Y'all go watch that interview. That clip is in the comment section below. And y'all go tell me what y'all think about it. Hilarious entertainment, though, nevertheless. And it's Kevin Gates at his finest. Luca Brasi 3 is on the way. Thank y'all for the time, love, support. I don't take it for granted. Salute. I came from nothing, but I want everything God has for me. I interview celebrities. I talk sports. I still represent the culture.
All the kids, they are now tuned in.
Yeah, we locked in right now, Mr.
TALIAFERRO.
Mr. TALIAFERRO.
Mr. TALIAFERRO.
Mr. TALIAFERRO.
Shout out to Mr. TALIAFERRO.
You're watching Mr. TALIAFERRO TV.
Mr. TALIAFERRO TV. Here with the triple B's, you can't do nothing but win.